Hello, welcome to the first episode. Uh, I'm just gonna say about the last week, real quick. Uh, it's been busy at work. I'm a mail carrier, and a lot of packages, lots of packages. And then we had a day off, a day of mourning for President Bush that passed away, and it was a good day off, but man, the next day was pretty bad. But anyways, enough about work. But Robert, Bobby, whatever you want to call him, has been sick. He had RSV and a bronchitis and a ear infection, pretty bad. Picked him up from daycare, and his right ear was just full of wax. And I cleaned it really good and made it look a lot better. Next day, no drainage at all, but she took him to the doctor, and that's when we found out all about all that. And let's see. I was looking around for a vehicle, got approved, but I had to get a new vehicle practically, and I don't want to. I can afford the payments. I just don't want to pay the payments. So I'm just gonna save up some money and buy something cheap and fix it that way. So I'm looking for an SUV around here after I get save up some money though. But other than that, we'll start talking about me growing up, I guess. Uh, I I wouldn't say I had a bad childhood. I think I had a pretty good childhood. Uh, Parents divorced when I was a teenager, but they fought all the time, and I understood. I didn't try to blame anybody or say it was my fault or anything because it wasn't. I knew they fought all the time. They argued, 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 but they were better as friends than they were together. If you know what I mean. They just couldn't stand living together, being together, stuff like that. But they were great friends. But when I was born blonde hair, blue eyes. And what I like to say is, as I was growing up, I turned full of crap, and my eyes turned brown, my hair turned brown. But that's just what I like to say. But after a couple of years, my hair or my eyes turned brown, and then I think they told me by the time I was 3 or 4, my hair started to turn brown. But I would say my hair. I was born blonde, but then my hair just started getting darker as I grew older. And when I was a teenager, I had blonde hair, brown hair, black hair, red hair, and when I was like older teenager, I even had some gray and white. I just had all different kinds of color hair, but it was mainly brown. And with my goatee, I grew a goatee in my 20s, and you could really tell because there was a lot of red in it, and there was some blonde in it, but it was mainly brown also. But there was still a lot of other colors in it. But now it's just mainly. But mainly my hair is just brown and gray and white. Yeah, because I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. And let's see. Uh, my parents were living in a house on 19th Street when I was born. don't remember none of it. What I do remember is we lived in a mobile home out east of Chickasha. And there was enough spots for like 10 to 20 mobile homes. It was a small mobile home park. I don't think there's that room enough for 20, but there was never that many mobile homes there. I remember there was like 5 or 6 on the side we stayed on. And I remember riding my bike when there was a tree at the end of the road. And I would always ride down to that tree, and it had a spot where I could park my bike and I could sit down right in front of the tree. I remember doing that a couple times and just, do whatever. And then once you enter on to the right, it was another tree. And there was a tire hanging from the tree, for a swing. And we would always just spin around circles on it. I remember one time we were all climbing a tree having fun, and I jumped, and when I caught the limb that I was jumping to, my wrist snapped. I don't know if I just grabbed it wrong or what, but I broke my arm. Right here somewhere, I think. I could be wrong. And my sister always says I fell out of a tree. That's not what happened. I jumped out of a tree, I caught a limb, and it snapped. My wrist snapped. That's when I fell down. But I also remember there was a doghouse underneath, and we had a black, I want to say like chow mix, because Midnight had a little bit of a black tongue, so I want to say he was a mix. Could be wrong. And that's what the doghouse he always used. But I remember one time I was mowing right by it, and I didn't know it, but bumblebees were in there, and I saw them come out, and I was screaming, and I was just doing this. And my dad came out. He always wore a cap. And I remember he jumped off the porch. No steps at all. Just jumped off the porch and just took his hat off and started swinging. And told me to run into the house. And so I ran into the house. And I remember that to this day. And my mom and dad had a 67 Mustang. I'll probably have to verify the year on that one. Forest green, beautiful car. And, my mom wrecked that. I was the floor behind the passenger seat. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember, but apparently, I remember where it was at because it was on 9th and Choctaw. That's where my mom totaled the car, and I remember going inside. And they told me it was going to be ice skating, or not ice skating, a roller skating rink. And so I, kind of giggled and laughed about that. But apparently I told the ambulance that I had a sucker in my mouth. I didn't have any more. I don't remember saying that, but yeah. And I remember I have pictures of the Mustang sitting outside that trailer. And at one end was my parents' bedroom. And then the other end had the 2 bedrooms, mine and my sister's. And in the hall, in between our rooms was the heater. And growing up, I used to take a blanket and lay on the heater vent because, man, it was awesome just having that heat blow on me in the wintertime, and it was pretty hot. Oh, man, I loved it, especially when I was sick. and so I would always sleep on the floor on a blanket over that vent. The vent would always get too hot where I couldn't sit on it or anything, so I would lay beside it and had the blanket over me, so it would still blow. Yeah, it makes me miss it just talking about it. But and my dad had a motorcycle that he used to have at that trailer. There was skirting by it, around it. Uh, and next door, had some friends. Uh, he was cool. He had an older sister. I liked him. I haven't seen him. I've seen his older sister, but I haven't seen him ever since we moved out. And I want to say that was 85. No, I think it was before that. Well, I don't remember. But we moved the mobile home beside my grandparents' house. And I'm saying a lot. It's because I'm thinking, so I apologize for that. And, oh, I think. No, no, I think I'm wrong about that. Yeah, I'm wrong. I was thinking something else, but never mind. Maybe I'll edit that out. But my, I guess I'm just going to mainly talk about that mobile home that out there by the thing. I remember one time that I don't know why, but I went outside and there was a big wheel. The big wheel is one little, it's like a tricycle thing, but it had a big wheel on the front and it had pedals on that wheel, and it had a seat with two little wheels by the seat. And well, it was sitting in front of the house. So I decided I knew who it belonged to. It was my friend that lived next door. And so I just started riding around, and my sister got mad, said I stole it, um, fought with me to get me off. And I remember I hurt myself. I ain't gonna say where or how, but yeah, I remember I got hurt. And ooh, yeah. Anyways, I remember I used to have my dad's or no, it was mine, little tape player that I was always record myself talking, kind of like what I'm doing now with the podcast. But I would either like DJ music and act like I was, DJ, and I would talk between songs, and I would record another song. But I like to think about those days whenever the mobile home was parked out there, because good times. And some of the other neighbors I've came across throughout the years, and that was always good. Talk to them and stuff. But I think that's about it for this week. And hopefully, I'll have something good for you next week. Probably mention hopefully another family member besides my sister. And story about my dad and me breaking my arm. Oh, my other arm was broke when I was a little baby. My mom had picked me up, and I was wiggling and squirming, and I over her shoulder and hit the ground and broke the right hand. And I think it was like right here, because I don't remember. I don't know where exactly. I just know that sometimes when it's cold, it hurts right here. I don't know. But all right, there's another story. You got two of them. Well, I actually got several of them. You got two. The only two breaks I've ever had. Knock on wood. All right. See y'all next week.